the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Well, since I made a video about the first movie when it first came out, I think I owe it to myself, you guys, and this channel to talk about this one. Yeah, the marketing made me cautiously optimistic about it, because on one hand, yeah, it looked exciting. And this is coming from someone who's never played Mario Galaxy. I know. It's just that my broke ass simply never owned a Wii. And no, I'm not gonna buy the port for the Switch because Nintendo are out of their f***ing minds if they think I'll buy a $70 2-pack for tiny cartridges. Plus tax. On the other hand, the movie looked more like an adaptation of Mario 2, 3, World, Yoshi's Island, Wonder, the most recent mainline game, and only some of Galaxy. Also, really? You spent another $1 million for a Hollywood face to play Yoshi? Yoshi, a character who does not have sentences. Yoshi. Why are Kamek, Jumpman, Mario's dad, and Diddy Kong, at least for now, the only characters who have actual voice actors? But in case you're wondering, he actually surprisingly sounds like Yoshi. The rest, you actually warm up to all of them. Even the most questionable one of all being some guy from Uncut Gems as Bowser Jr. Oh, and Brie Larson, someone who actually loves the Galaxy games, as Rosalina is S-tier casting. You're sure living the dream, Captain Marvel. And so, after watching it in the theater, what did I think of it? I liked it, I guess. Now, before we go any further, I want to do a little retrospective on the first movie. Yeah, I can still watch it and enjoy it. These two movies were clearly made for people who grew up playing Mario, and they do that just fine. But it didn't have a script that was timeless, you know? I think you've heard all the criticisms by now. Luigi is inactive almost throughout the entire thing. Toad basically does absolutely nothing. Peach crosses the extreme of plot-armored one-woman army. Mario and Bowser's rivalry just feels like it just is because, well, they're the hero and villain. But the movie's real problem was definitely its pacing. It just quickly jumped from point A to point B like it was in a hurry. But despite that, it's still a fine movie. Characters are charming and likable. They rarely got on my nerves. Rarely. The music was pleasant, even though some tracks were cut in favor of corporate pandering. But still, it was a solid 6 out of 10. Now this one, it's about the same. They do make some improvements. Neither of the main characters are basically quarantined. Mario and Luigi are basically never split apart. Toad does some stuff. Peach, even though she's still a flawless girl boss when fighting a freaking army, she actually has frustrations and sometimes does need someone else to help her through her problems. Of course, there's Fox! Yep, Fox McCloud is in the movie. Now let me just say, what the f were you guys thinking revealing him a week before the release? Seriously, why would you do that? Wait, where was I? Oh right, Fox. He's cool, he can stay. I like how they don't force him and Mario to have some rivalry that's basically just a stupid dick measuring contest and fight like toddlers. Also, unlike Donkey Kong, his personality and flaws don't feel like an afterthought. He's kind of greedy, he treats his ship like his child, and is clearly bothered whenever they call him a badger or something. DK was simply a Seth Rogen character who I guess wants respect from his dad, even though his dad already calls him his champion. Yoshi's a very good boy, and I don't think anyone's gonna argue with me on that. Oh yeah, and I absolutely adored Bowser's inside story. Okay, stupid puns aside. He and Bowser Jr.'s story was just amazing. I like seeing how, even though they're both emotionally unstable, power-hungry pieces of shit, they clearly love each other. I also love how torturing people and leveling cities is like their equivalent to watching a game or something. Although, one thing that was always on my mind since the very idea of seeing Junior in a future movie is, where the hell was he this whole time? They do explain that Bowser sent him to boarding school, but Junior says he got expelled the first day, so where was he really? Was he just traveling the galaxy by himself or what? I don't know. But still, it was pretty charming. Oh yeah, and I laughed at various jokes here and there, and there were almost no licensed songs in sight. Those are pluses. Alright, now on to my gripes with the film. This movie also quickly jumps from point A to point B, and I'd even say it's a tad worse than the first one. Rosalina is barely in the film because this time she's the damsel in distress Mario and company have to save. They don't explain how the hell does she have stories of Peach and Mario. Why didn't she go visit her at any point? her home is basically a spaceship, so what stopped her exactly? Alright, spoiler alert by the way, Rosalina and Peach are sisters. When they revealed that fact, my mind went, I wonder if Miyamoto was waiting for this movie to be made to finally confirm it. I mean, this is the guy who once said he was Junior's mama, so... With that in mind, I don't know why they jumped straight to Galaxy as a sequel, when Mario World, the game where Yoshi debuted, was right there. Most characters only have kind of arcs. Mario wants to make a move on the princess, but he feels inadequate, and that's about it. Peach still wants to find out where she comes from, and I guess it does get touched upon, but not as much as you'd hope. Toad is jealous of Yoshi's presence, but then he's not. I do like how Bowser and Jr. learned that Mario and friends aren't so bad after all, but are still committed to being villains. Something that really was pointless was Baby Mario and Luigi. Like, seriously, what was the point of that other than to reference Yoshi's Island? I get why King Wart is here, but seriously, what was the point of the Queen Bee if they weren't gonna fight her? This is a video game movie, right? So why not have a boss fight there? Star Fox anime sequence was peak until they had Fox basically tell the audience, hey guys, remember Slippy? Yeah, him, am I right, dog? I seriously rolled my eyes. The movie's core is about families splitting apart, but Mario and Luigi never acknowledge their family. Fox in particular not only seems to care more about his ship than the rest of the Star Fox crew, but he never even mentions his dad, whose legacy is a big deal in his games. Did no one remember that? The Pixar animations are always welcome in adaptations, unless they're hot garbage. But when the movie stopped in its tracks just to transform into one for like the third time in a row, it got on my nerves. Imagine if Sonic 3, out of nowhere, stopped dead in its tracks just to transform into Sonic Adventure 2's graphics from the freaking Dreamcast. Just to be like, hey, remember that? And finally, I thought the post-credit scene was kind of underwhelming. Not bad by any means, but just didn't wow me. A certain someone who shows up doesn't even say a word, despite being loud and energetic being a major part of their personality. Anyway, I think I'll also give this one a 6 out of 10. For now. It had stuff I liked, and stuff that really bothered me. But anyway, given its reception so far, I really hope Illumination actually takes notes from the feedback, and doesn't take the Five Nights at Freddy's route where they basically say, it's just for fans and no one else. Again, I hope. If you liked this video and would like to see more, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, tell all your friends about me because you know how YouTube works these days, and comment your thoughts down below. See you next time, stay faithful and hopeful.